put a stop $2 below the predicted low on April 27th on that dramatic downturn day, and that would put a stop at 104. In any case, 103, 104, somewhere right in there. Likely chances that you probably are going to get out of this uptrend, and in the last leg of this uptrend that you had, you made a profit of about $10.50 to go with the $13 you made earlier. So not too bad from a standpoint from from a trade for a long-term trade out of a short-term forecast where you run from July to May. That's not a forever trade, but it is 9 months, and that's a pretty good long-term duration for a trade for a person who does not want to be quite so active. Then you can see what happens, what follows that breakdown. First of all, I should point out probably that we have a kind of a maverick candle looking here. I don't think, I think there must be as good as CRB data is, for most part, there must be a bit of a false reading here, false numbers or something in here in the data, because I looked at some other charts and they didn't have that dramatic swing. So you can kind of ignore that swing. But the point is, what has happened now is that during the month of May, market went down, swung down. The blue line was below the black line, meaning that the situation is now time to be short, time to be out. The predicted differences, as I mentioned earlier, have gone down. They try to rebound, but not a lot of gusto. If you look at what has happened, over this particular time and seeing what's happened, you will say, okay, well, look, the predicted differences have turned up. We're starting to see some signs that the market may be turning up. Maybe this is a time to jump back in, maybe again using that predicted high as our buy guideline. Just a couple of things. When you get up into the 100 area, it's not nearly as an attractive spot to buy as it was when we were buying at 78. Remember that free fall in stocks? Coming out of that was a lot more attractive buying. We're not that far from the all-time highs at 106, 107. So we have regained everything that we lost from those March lows, and so how much higher is this market going to go? So this is a time to reassess what's going on, what is the risk, and look at whether to get back in or not. See that we have some wider ranges here now. Is the risk too much for you to get on board these? Using the stops that you should use based upon either natural stops or on using the vantage point highs and or lows. Okay, we're going to switch back over here. I had a bit of a problem a little bit earlier with my webinar presentation, but let's see what we have here. See if we can look at what is going on with the to wrap up this webinar, talk a little bit about profitable position trading and where we potentially would like to be. Kind of to summarize, the profitable position trading requires, one, an entry technique. Has to catch that trending opportunity as early as you can without being a false opportunity, so you don't get caught. So you want to get in early if you possibly can. Secondly, then you need a strategy. You need to be able to ride through the counter trend dips or the sideways moves or whatever. Again, this is going to require a little judgment. But once you come out of that hole up, at what point does that little arrow start to go turn down? Kind of how long you're going to stay in and at what point you're going to get out. And then finally, when that ultimate moment does come, as it will with market that I know, you have to have an exit technique. It has to catch that trend change early, but again, you don't want to abandon the trend too early. As we showed in our example here, we were in a situation where we did get out of a trend, but then it looked like the trend was resuming. We had the momentum from previous, watching that previous trend move up, and so we got back on board, and that's the same type of analysis that you have to do. Is this it, or is the potential still there for an increase in the market that you are trading? Now, we've covered a lot of territory. We tried to talk a little bit again about only the long-term position trading aspects, not to negate the possibilities that we would have for for short-term trading or swing trading, but we've emphasized the long-term aspects in this particular webinar. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask about a strategy, I would be glad to try to answer those questions. If you have any questions that you might have about the software, I'm going to refer that to the Vantage Point folks. You can see the information, the contact information, in which you can potentially get, give them and find out more about Vantage Point forecast specifically. Any questions about kind of an orientation of the market, what you might do or why you might do it? Glad to answer those questions if I. All right, I'm not seeing any questions come up. I do have a question for you, and if you remember that little man that we had, he's seen quite a sharp setback in May. So my question is, if you agree, I agree that we're going to come back and the S&P index is going to set a new high in. So that means you're bullish. You think the market goes in the road and it's on its way. So if you agree with that, I'm not trying to point out anybody and whatever, but just to kind of, what do people think? What's going on with the market? Right? Well, I see at least one disagree, so would suggest that somebody is bearish and everybody else is shy about what they're about the market is. But markets are all about, everybody is going to trade when it acts as volatile as it has. Probably a good time if you're able to look at these, because if you're a seller lapse, we've had some VIX readings and the premiums should be a little richer. So there are a lot of strategies that can be used to trade this market. We have a number on the website. We'll be doing a number of webinars during the summer, different topics, different strategies, different markets. Hope you're in the future for those webinars, and thank you for attending this webinar. Turning it back now over to Darrell.
Thank you, Darrell. We hope that each of you have learned something of value from this educational webcast today. This recording for the webcast will be posted on Trader Planet this afternoon, and we have made arrangements to email the link to everyone who is registered for this event. If you are researching trading software and are interested in seeking further information on the software that Darrell has featured in this presentation, just select the Click Here link on the final slide. This will place a request with our friends at Market Technologies for free market forecasts and additional information on the Vantage Point intermarket analysis software. This concludes today's presentation. Thank you for attending, and all of us here at Trader Planet wish you a pleasant evening.